welcome to M Pluto. My name is M. Today I'm going to be doing a general reading on the sign Taurus. Let's see. Spirit, give me the general energy for the collective Tauruses out there. What is the center energy for Taurus? What is the center energy for Taurus? Okay, strength. Okay. Bottom of the deck, Wheel of Fortune. A cycle may have ended that you did not want to end, or you are bravely facing a new cycle. This cycle is going to deal with possibly how you talk to yourself, like you're mastering toxic thoughts or toxic people. Spirit, what is the crossing for Taurus? How is this playing out? What is the crossing for Taurus? 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 We got death. Okay. Okay, the crossing is death. Bottom of the deck is the Six of Cups. There's definitely something about something from the past transforming or no longer being the way that it was. It has to do with maybe there's something about you that's shifted. Maybe you've gained a new level of confidence, courage to leave a cycle, and you formed a new identity to the point where possibly people from the past no longer recognize you, or you could be healing something from your childhood. There's something about an ending to possibly something you learned in childhood, possibly. I just heard my mom laugh. Okay, Spirit, what is the unconscious energy for Taurus? What is Taurus unaware of unconsciously? Oh, that's too much. Okay, unconsciously, what you may not be aware of. We have the Eight of Wands. Okay, Eight of Wands to the Ten of Wands. Ten of Wands, bottom of deck. Unconscious energy is the Eight of Wands. Your mind is scattered. What you don't, how do I say that? What you unconsciously are not aware of, what you're not aware of, what you're not aware of right now. You may be taking on a lot of challenges, a lot of burdens, a lot of opportunities. Things could seem pretty stagnant, or maybe the juice isn't worth the squeeze. Apply this to wherever this is in your life. It could be career, it could be co-workers, it could be partnerships. Whatever it is, there's something that you feel very burdened by currently, something that is taking and exhausting you. What you don't know is that there's a lot of momentum around it. So basically, it may seem heavy, but the thing about the Ten of Wands is that you can see the house sort of in the background. Like it's the final push before something comes, before victory comes, before a new cycle or something that you've spent a lot of time. You get to reap the harvest of it. So even though it may seem burdensome, maybe you're doing something out of duty or obligation, momentum is going to pick up. That's what you don't see coming. Okay, Spirit, what is Taurus consciously aware of? What is Taurus consciously aware of? Okay, we have the Hierophant. That's your card. Well, you're consciously aware that there's something about commitment and duty. There's a reckoning you're having. You could be rethinking relationships as a whole, or examining your past relationships, your current relationships, but more specifically relationships that you've invested a lot of time into. There could be new boundaries for people, or a new way of looking at certain situations, a new way of looking at the people who were once in your social circle, or who are currently in your social circle. Okay, Spirit, what's the past event that influences this spread? What's the past event that influences this spread for Taurus? What is the past event that influences this spread for Taurus? Okay, we have the moon reversed. Clarity. Clarity. This Knight of Swords is the bottom of the deck. You could have cut through a lot of fog, a lot of confusion, and you've reached clarity. Okay, yeah, that's why that Wheel of Fortune was here. That's why death is here in the crossing. There's something in the past that you were confused about, or something that you were afraid of, that you were able to pierce through and cut through and gain clarity. You are no longer afraid of it. Okay. Spirit, tell me about the future event for Taurus. Tell me about the future event for Taurus. Okay. We have Justice, balancing. Bottom of the deck, we have the Seven of Swords. This could just be, in the future, you become more discerning of what's fair, what's not fair. That Ten of Wands, you could be carrying it alone. That Wheel of Fortune did come out. There is a new cycle beginning. Strength being here. Either you have the courage, or you have the courage, or you are restraining yourself. Part of me feels like it's you having the courage, because the crossing is death. So in the future event is going to be you holding other people accountable, you being more strategic, because you're going to be able to see through the fog, right? That's why that Seven of Swords is here. To me, the Seven of Swords is discernment. It's strategy. So it's being able to discern motivations of people, motivations of coworkers. You could gain that. And one of the ways you're going to figure that out or understand it is you're going to apply consequences. You're going to start asking yourself, well, who has more to lose? Who has more? Who, is investing more time into this? What's fair to me? What's fair to you? You're going to be more strategic when you approach certain matters. Okay, Spirit, what is Taurus's heart's desire? What is Taurus's heart's desire? Ten of Wands. You want to be able to put that Ten of Wands. Don't keep popping up. You want to be able to put these burdens down. Now, I did tell you unconsciously, whatever this is, it's going to take off. It's going to gain momentum. So you are at the final stretch. Right now, what your heart's desire is telling you, you want to be able to put the burdens down. The bottom of the deck is the Ten of Pentacles. Ten of Wands and the Ten of Pentacles. I think that you've invested a lot of time into something and you want to be able to reap those benefits. You want to be able to reap the benefits that you've invested in something. What is Taurus's external influence? What is Taurus's external influence? Nine of Cups. Okay. Page of Wands. Something outside of you, there could be an opportunity, or there could be someone that is a wish fulfillment for you. Okay, something that you feel a spark towards, something that feels adventurous for you. Okay, Spirit, what is Taurus's fears or hopes? What is Taurus's fears or hopes? Okay. Your fear is the Nine of Swords. I think what you fear is not ever putting down that Ten of Wands. Never being able to put it down. Being burdened and feeling obligated and a sense of duty to something. And yeah, with that Knight of Swords, it's almost like going back on that, ruminating, racing thoughts, going over conversations. See, in the past, you already have them in reverse. You already cut through the fog. Your fear, it seems like maybe the fear returning, the overthinking returning, the racing thoughts returning, going back and forth into your memory and trying to figure out, well, why did this act like this and why was this like this? Okay, Spirit, what is Taurus's likely outcome? What is Taurus's likely outcome? Okay, we have the Empress. Perfect. So whatever this is, Four of Wands, perfect. Whatever this is, this Strength card to the Death card, whatever you're struggling with right now, the courage that you have, the transformation that you're going through. Like again, I did equate that to something from your childhood. There's something in your childhood that you may be transforming, that you have the courage to transform. Or you're placed into a situation where there's an opportunity for you to change how you previously dealt with something or a situation, something you've learned in your childhood. Now, Justice is the future event. So that's you holding people accountable. That's you searching for the truth regardless of what others are saying. You looking at the consequences. You looking at what's fair to you. With the likely outcome being the Empress, which is your card. This is embodiment. This is fertility. This is value. So you return back to valuing yourself. With the bottom of the deck, the Four of Wands, whatever this death was, it's completion. You crossed into a new threshold. That threshold is seeing yourself as the Empress, okay? So for the skeletal bottom of the deck, we have the Four of Wands, which is you crossing a huge milestone, a celebration. Okay, now let's go ahead and clarify. Okay, we are 12 minutes in. Okay, Spirit, why is strength here for Taurus? Why is strength here for Taurus? Why is strength here for Taurus? Okay. Why is strength here for Taurus? Why is strength here for Taurus? Okay. So there's a new opportunity on the horizon that you either are restraining yourself from taking or you have the courage to take it. Give me a second. With this opportunity, though, comes regret or disappointment. You may have to let something go. And that something has to do with your independence. So in order to, we did see the Wheel of Fortune, and the Wheel of Fortune is actually under the Ace, is under the Nine of Pentacles, right? In order to embark on a new beginning, right? An opportunity, maybe material, or just maybe something that's abundant, you have to develop the courage to grieve something or let something go. And that has a lot to do with autonomy, your independence, and also boundaries. Now, the Nine of Pentacles is really interesting because a lot of people say, oh, she's like luxurious, she's self-sufficient, she's all those things, but she also delegates who gets her coins. These 3 coins right here are coins that she's left for other people, for the birds. And these coins, these 6 coins here, I hope that's 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These 6 coins are for her. So she delegates who has, you know, the 3 of Pentacles and who gets the 6 of Pentacles. So it's telling me that maybe that new opportunity, it's strength, it's courage to step into something new, right? But at the same time, there is a little bit of sadness or disappointment or a little bit of loss because it means that you have to have more boundaries with people or more boundaries within a situation, okay? Now, that's the situation itself that you're in. The crossing, which is the Death card, is how this is being played out. So, played out. So, Spirit, why is Death here? Why is Death here for Taurus? I don't want to take that card. Okay, why is death here for Taurus? Okay, we have the Page of Pentacles. Why is death here for Taurus? We have the Magician. Okay, yeah, bottom of the deck is the Ten of Cups. So death is clarified by the Page of Pentacles and Magician. So there's an opportunity for something, for fulfillment, okay? So this is actually really incredible. So you're transforming, what's dying is you're transforming into the Magician. You're transforming into a master of the Wands, the Pentacles, the Cups, and what's the other? The Swords. And you're taking a new step, a small step, but you're taking a new step in a different direction. And this step in a different direction, like we talked about, with that Six of Cups being at the bottom of the deck for death, there's something about your past. There's something, I think it's childhood, but it could be anything. It could be anyone in the past. It could be someone from your past. It could be a memory of some sort. But death here is saying that there's an ending to possibly looking at something through rose-colored glasses, or how you cope with a situation. That's ending. And what it's transforming into is the Magician. Someone who can manifest, someone who is self-sufficient, but also has the tools or resources to believe in themselves so much that they can create something just immediately. And you are taking a smaller step toward that, but it's still there. And it's towards your ideal. It's towards something that makes you emotionally happy. Okay? Spirit, what is the, why is the Eight of Wands here for Taurus for the unconscious energy? Now remember, we had the Ten of Wands here. Why is the Eight of Wands here? Okay, we have Temperance. Okay, why is the Eight of Wands here? Whoop. And we have the Seven of Cups reversed. So that's clarity. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Queen of Cups. Okay, give me a second. So this is what you're not seeing. I think what you're not seeing is that you're going to, how do I say this? That Ten of Wands, which was the bottom of the deck when the Eight of Cups first popped up, was the burdens, the obligations, the duties, other people's expectations, carrying on other loads, or maybe just you having like a full schedule. This could be your own journey. This could just be too many expectations you've set on yourself, okay? Now, I did say that they're going to take momentum, but I also think that Eight of Wands being clarified by Temperance and the Seven of Cups reversed and the Queen of Cups being at the bottom of the deck, this sort of tells me that maybe you become more aligned with what you truly want. And let me be a little bit more specific, because it's still being reflected in the Hierophant. You are thinking about commitment, you are thinking about duty, you are thinking about structure, you are thinking about order. But there's more clarity around what is important to you, what you can be patient with, what you can step back from. And a lot of that is going to be coming from you being more listening to your heart. I don't know if you don't make decisions from your heart. I don't know if it's harder to understand. We do have this in the unconscious. Maybe it's harder for you to listen to, I don't know what the hell is happening outside. I don't even know if you guys heard that. I'm so sorry. Maybe it's harder to make decisions from the heart, but what you don't know is that that Ten of Wands we saw earlier, all of that, you're going to figure out a way to prioritize it in a way that is more fulfilling to what you actually want in your heart. Okay? And whatever you were confused about, it seems to be maybe you were confused about different scenarios, different options, not knowing which direction to take. I believe that's what that was. Because that moon reverses here, right? You're going to become more clear about what you truly want. You're going to be able to make a decision from being patient with yourself and listening to what your heart wants. Okay? And I think that that's going to come very quickly. Like it's just going to kind of overtake you. You're going to start really moving from your heart. And I think that's because maybe when you were carrying those 10 of Wands, you had a lot of time, and carrying those wands could have easily made you, this is another 10 of Wands actually right here. Carrying these 10 of Wands could have easily made you be like, okay, this is a lot. Whereas, you know what I mean? Like you had a lot of time because they're heavy. You had a lot of time to really sit back and think about what you really want. Okay. Spirit, why is the Hierophant here for Taurus? Okay, we have Strength sideways. Okay, why is the Hierophant here? I'm not thinking that. Okay, we have Strength sideways and a Six of Pentacles sideways. We have the Eight of Cups. So you're leaving something behind. Somewhat. Okay, so because we have Strength and the Six of Pentacles, both are sideways, you have an idea of what you want. You have an idea of commitment, of duty, of order, of traditionalism, of rules, okay? But your strength it wavers. Even though in spite of the fact that you may not be getting reciprocal energy, okay? Your strength and your courage to move forward kind of wavers. So even though we do have the Eight of... Is someone dying? Even though we have the Eight of Cups here, right? We're just moving on, moving towards something that is more spiritually or emotionally aligned. Right underneath it, I mean, you can't make this up, is the Eight of Swords. It's feeling trapped, it's feeling uncertain, it's not listening to your intuition. So consciously, you may, have an idea. But like I said, that's why that unconscious energy was the Eight of Wands, the Temperance, the Seven of Cups, reversed into the Queen of Cups. What you don't see coming is that you're eventually going to be able to really listen into your intuition, your heart, and really make decisions that align with you. Okay? So right now, you could be wavering with your strength. You could have the Eight of Cups. The thing about the Eight of Cups is right underneath it is the Eight of Swords. So yeah, but what you don't see coming is you're going to be able to really look at what you truly want and understand that and move toward it. Okay, Spirit, why is the Moon here reversed for past event? Okay. Ooh. Okay, so we have the High Priestess. I don't want to take you. All right, I'll take you. We have the High Priest. Ooh. Okay, Tor. What's going on? We have the High Priestess and the... Okay. Give me a second here. So we have the Moon reversed, which was our skeletal. It's a significator card for the past event. There's something that became clear to you. Okay. There's a fear that you've conquered. There's something you've looked into the eye. But it's being clarified by the High Priestess and the Devil. Bottom of the deck is the Four of Swords. What is this? Okay. I know what this is. I'm just like, what is, why? Okay. Well, this started everything. Something became clear to you. You listened to your intuition. There was something about a toxic bond or an addictive cycle that you were in that you had an inner knowing about already. And it became obvious. Something became very obvious. Something about a toxic compulsive bond or compulsion you had. It went from being something that you possibly hid or didn't want to share. You intuitively understood, okay? But it's clarifying that Moon reverse, which is like total clarity. Like that's out in the open now. Like, so something about a toxic bond became very, became clear to you. Now, what's really interesting to me is this Four of Swords that's off the bottom of the deck. You recovered from it. You're doing some sort of recovering from it. I don't want to say just yet, because sometimes the Four of Swords could be like fantasizing or daydreaming or nightmares. But because the Moon is reversed, I'm going to go out and say that this is recovering. So you're doing more recovering. You're starting to recover from this bond. or whatever this compulsion, this inner knowing, this toxicness. It could be a mindset, whatever this is. You're recovering from it. Okay, which makes sense as to why justice is here for the future event. You know, the past event and the future event tend to mirror the unconscious, and the conscious and the unconscious event tend to mirror. Okay, we're losing time. Why is justice here, Spirit? Why is justice here? Okay, for future event, we have the Queen of Cups and the Sun. Yeah. Holding something accountable, understanding what's fair to you, listening to your intuition, listening to what makes you happy to your heart, and being optimistic and having clarity. But why is the bottom of the deck the Four of Cups? Maybe moving away from that. Maybe moving away from that. Okay. Spirit, why is the Ten of Wands here for Heart's Desire for Taurus? Okay, we have the Ace of Cups. And we have the King of Cups. Eight of Wands. You want fast communication or momentum with either a King of Cups energy. You want an emotional new beginning. You want to be able... You want these burdens to turn into momentum, okay? Opportunities, okay? Where there's an emotional awakening, an emotional opening with a King of Cups character. So, yeah, it could be a male. Well, I'm pretty sure that's a male, right? That's a person. I don't think that's you wanting. I think you're the Queen of Cups. I think that person is the King of Cups. Okay, Spirit, why is the Nine of Cups here for external influence? Six of Cups, okay. Why is the Six of Cups here? Why is the Six of Cups here? Okay. Six of Wands. So for external influence, we have the Nine of Cups. That's a wish fulfillment. Someone is experiencing a wish fulfillment. Someone from your past is coming out of scarcity and experiencing either you or your situation as a wish fulfillment and a success. Okay? Spirit, tell me why the Nine of Swords is here for Taurus's fears or hopes. Why is the Nine of Swords here? Why is the Nine of Swords here? Oh. I don't like that. We have double Nine of Swords. Okay, and the Ten of Wands, Taurus, what's going on? So you fear that there's going to be mental exhaustion to the point where you may need to seek some sort of therapy due to a painful ending. You fear a very painful ending. You fear something starting and then ending. Like a lack of commitment. Something impulsively, no, excuse me. No, this is agitated, racing, impulsive. You can't like control thoughts that lead to a painful end, a difficult cycle. Okay, and Spirit, why is the Empress here? Oops. Why is the Empress here for likely outcome? We have the Queen of Swords. Why is the Empress here? Okay, we have the Queen of Swords, and we have the Six of Swords. Nine of Wands. Okay. So, in the likely outcome, just like that Queen of Cups and Justice and the Sun was here, I always compare the future event to the likely outcome. The Empress, I mean, you gain, you embody your value, right? You embody the Taurus energy. Empress is Taurus with boundaries. So you gain more respect for yourself. At the same time, having clear boundaries, intellectual authority to move on to a situation that is more emotionally calmer for you, okay? And you do this, and it's going to be hard. It's going to be, you're on guard, you're defensive, you're exhausted, but this cycle concludes with you valuing yourself, having more boundaries, and moving towards calmer waters, okay? So Taurus, Please like and subscribe. I am a new channel. Again, my name is M. This is M Pluto. This is your general reading for Taurus. Thank you so much for your time. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye-bye.